Good morning. I'm Nan Simonsen. I'm a nationally board certified health and wellness coach, and I'm about to make a pretty purple smoothie. I gave myself 6 weeks working Dr. Brooke Goldner's Goodbye Lupus protocol, self-directed, because, well, I'm going to be in her 6-week rapid recovery group in January, but even doing 6 weeks on my own, I was able to bring a sedimentary rate, ERS, from a 6-year run of well over what it should have been down into the normal range, just in 6 weeks. And I'm looking at other anti-inflammatory markers to go down, and they are. In any case, part of Hyper Nourishment in her protocols is to have every day 3 things. One is cruciferous and deep leafy greens, at least a pound. Another is to have omega-3 fatty acids. This is half flax, half chia. And the other is to have at least 96 ounces, preferably a gallon of water every day, because all of this gets the, let's say the processes in our body working for hyper nourishment, a intentional overdose of everything your body needs to get well and to get well quickly, and it works. So today I'm deviating from what I've done during the entire program, which was a smoothie every day, but it was always the same. It was kale, half spinach, and then the fruit, 25% fruit by volume, 75% vegetables, and then half a cup of the omega-3 fatty acids, and about 44 ounces of water. In this case, I decided to go purple, and I'll tell you why. My husband and I got back from a holiday almost 2 weeks out of state. I brought my blender with me and I made my smoothies there. Well, when we got home in the evening, that next morning, I found I had no spinach and kale in the ratios I wanted. Actually, I had no spinach at all. And so, no, that's not true. I had no kale at all. In any case, I had purple cabbage. And the protocol is dark leafy greens and cruciferous vegetables a pound a day or more. But I had red cabbage. Red cabbage is a cruciferous vegetable. Cruciferous vegetables are broccoli, kale, cauliflower, cabbage, arugula, which is, I don't like the flavor of that in a smoothie, so I haven't done, well, I did it once, didn't like it. So the cruciferous vegetables have something called sulforaphane. What does sulforaphane do for you? Well, I thought I would make this a little bit of a training session, because as a health and wellness coach, that's what I do. So what does sulforaphane do for us? It's a phytochemical found in cruciferous vegetables like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, kale, cauliflower. The health benefits include anti-inflammatory, antioxidant, anti-cancer, cardioprotective, anti-diabetic, because it can help improve glucose levels, liver detoxifier, and immune booster. Yay! So we get our sulforaphane in the cruciferous vegetables raw. Everything on her protocol, her healing protocols, is raw. Hyper nourishment, that part of it, is raw. So I'm going to start with 13 ounces of red cabbage, and I'm cutting it up in front of you just because I wanted to show you what a relatively small amount, 13 ounces of cabbage, looks like. I'll throw it in here. This is a Vitamix blender, and if you get one used, if you get one refurbished, if you get one new, consider getting one of these high-powered blenders, because they can handle just about anything. And this takes a lot. You'll see what I mean. Then I decided to add, because I could have made this even prettier with nothing green, but I'm so into the elements of nutrition that I decided to add my spinach. This is 3 ounces, so 13 ounces, 3 ounces, 16 ounces. Ta-da! I have a pound. Well, what's the point of either spinach or kale? Spinach has a softer flavor than kale, and I thought I would like that maybe instead of kale for this smoothie, because it already is going to have a somewhat stronger flavor. So there's my spinach. There's my 75% by volume greens. Well, what do the greens have, and what's the whole point of that? Again, the protocol is deep leafy greens and cruciferous, a pound a day. Thylakoids, write this down, Thylakoids. Was looking for an E. What are thylakoids? They're found in deep leafy green like spinach, kale, collards, etc. They're the structures in plants that help the whole photosynthesis process, turning the sunlight into energy and into green. And I'm not going to read all this to you, but they are a protein and a lipid, which means they're part fat, part protein, and they contain chlorophyll, antioxidants, carotenoids, vitamin E, and what they do is they help delay the fat digestion to give you a feeling of being full longer. They also, get all this right rather than just saying it off the top of my head. They also regulate appetite. They have positive effects on the brain's reward system via serotonin, help you feel more satisfied longer, and they reduce insulin levels and put off and reduce ghrelin, which is the hunger hormone, so you stay satisfied longer. And they positive impact on cravings, and I'll let it go at that. But look up thylakoids as it relates to human health. Deep leafy green vegetables, besides all the vitamins, nutrients, phytochemicals, polyphenols, you get your thylakoids as well. So I threw in the spinach. Now, by volume, 25% fruit. So I'm putting in, to keep that purple going, I'm using a Costco blend. There are a lot of brands that will blend their purple vegetables, purple fruit. And these are raspberries, blackberries, and blueberries frozen, big bag from Costco. And I used 6 ounces of that, and I'm putting in 2.5 bananas. That's about 10 ounces. What Dr. Goldner has mentioned in several videos is the way it works out is quite often the 75%, that 1 pound of vegetables that you're putting into your blender is a certain volume by nature. The fruit by volume can match that. 1 pound of fruit to 1 pound of vegetables is going to give you about a 75 to 25 ratio. Isn't that interesting? And it's working out that way. I also add citrus whenever I'm doing any vegetable that has calcium and iron, because it makes it more bioavailable. And I happen to love limes. I'm here in Southern California, and so limes are plentiful. I also put in a nub, sort of a thumb size, of ginger, because I like that flavor as well. And sometime, because I really like my citrus, I may even add a little bit of lemon juice. If I didn't have lime, I would put in more lemon juice, a couple of tablespoons. And then I add the flax chia. I keep a bottle in the refrigerator so that I have cold water to add. You'll see in her protocol that you can use almond milk. I prefer just using water because my goal for my size, I'm 5'2", weigh about 112 pounds. My goal is to have at least 115 ounces of water a day. And to get that in, I've got about 40 to 45 ounces from this alone. Let me grab some additional water, because the water should come up to, hope you can hear me, right up to the greens to give you a good blending. And you'll see this. Cover it up. Let me see if I got everything. Yeah, I did. All right, sometimes I'll put turmeric with black pepper in. So there are things you can add to it. Get this out of the way. And what I'm going to do is start it, because I want to show you how powerful this blender is and what it can do. And then I'm going to take you off. I'll come back to you, because I'm going to stop the video for just about 2 minutes, because in order to get that flax and chia really ground up, and you need them ground up or they go in and whoosh, kind of flow on out, it takes about 2 minutes. Dr. Goldner recommends 2 to 3 minutes. I usually give it 2 minutes. The Vitamix is so strong that if you leave it on a long time, it heats things up. So I'm going to start it, and then I'll stop the video and get you back on. All right, I'm back. I gave it 2 minutes. I wonder if that's still up there. No, as soon as I turned it off, it went to 0. Now I'm going to show you what I created. Out of the way. Oops. Okay. So I said good morning to you because, let me get a paper towel. Because I'm dressed for my bike ride. Every morning I take off. I used to run, and then I got a torn meniscus, not from the running, from twisting the wrong way during a class. And I haven't run since. I did a half a marathon. That's what I worked up to. But I do cycle every day, half an hour to an hour to an hour and a half. I'll get my jacket on and I'll take off. But I wanted to get this started to show you. Plus, I usually have a little bit of it before I leave. So let me show you this beauty. Can you see? Yeah. Well, no, you don't need to see it that way. All right. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my gosh. That's just delicious. I do something that I hadn't set up, so I didn't do. I usually will put in that quart of water from the refrigerator, and then I'll take a glass, fill it with ice, put water in it, get that water cold, put it in, do that a couple times. I want it cold. Quite often there's not a lot of room to put a bunch of ice in it, because it's best when it's really cold. And I'd like this a little colder, but that's fine too. What I use to carry my smoothie is a 32-ounce stainless steel flask. and this is how I go through the day. I know that a lot of you would not use plastic. I've got my Tupperware pieces I'm used to using, and I don't have room for a bunch of quart jars. Otherwise, I could pour this into a couple of quart jars, put a straw and drink it through that, but I just empty these into this. It's almost 4 cups each. Not quite 4. And that's what I do. I'll go back and use my spatula to get the rest of that. This would have filled this one, and usually I have a little bit before I package it. So why the purple cabbage? Why not a white cabbage? Well, for the same reason that people are really into acai bowls and smoothies and things. But I wanted to bring something up to you about that. First of all, what's the big deal with the color, the purple? This was a good example. I was making our meal last night and I cut up a purple onion, and I peeled off the outer skin. By the time I was finished, my hands were purple. Why? For exactly the same reason. This is purple cabbage. The same reason I'll go after purple carrots when I can get them, because there's something called anthocyanins that are part of the pigmentation of the red, purple, blue kind of vegetables and fruits. One of the reasons that blueberries are the most powerful of the berries is because of the anthocyanins. Now, I picked this up as well so that I can tell you about it. Anthocyanin is an antioxidant from the flavonoid family, and it can reduce inflammation, protect you from conditions like cancer, Alzheimer's disease, heart disease, as well as type 2 diabetes. And you will find them in red, purple, and blue fruits and vegetables. It's a polyphenol, and again, excellent for disease prevention. The anthocyanins in blueberries, as I said, make them the most powerful of the berries, and part of that is because of those skins. The skins on a blueberry have the most concentrated of the anthocyanins, plus you get all the fiber as well. That's why even those tiny little wild blueberries you can get, well, you've got that many more or that much more skin on there. So why did I show you this package? Because promotionally, we sometimes can be fooled. I had this in my freezer from almost a year ago, and there was only one left, and now I think, boy, I wasn't reading properly the ingredients at that time. This is something I got from Costco. I'm not putting that down, but the acai, superfruit packs, antioxidants, omegas, great for health. Well, let's look at the ingredients. They have the acai puree is the first ingredient, puree, which is the acai, organic cane sugar, and sunflower lecithin. Lecithin is a emulsifier. Well, you know, you have a microbiome, and the microbiome is fed by fibers from our diet. That's why whole foods that are plant-based are so powerful for us. Well, an emulsifier is something that, it interrupts the microbiome, and it's also a lipid. It's part of a fat. Well, each package is 3.5 grams of fat. So you've got 30, 35, 40 grams or calories of just fat. Well, this is a fruit, so that means it added fat to it. But the part that I especially don't like, and it's a omega-6 fat. We're trying to build, remember with the seeds, our omega-3s. The part I especially don't like, 12 grams of added sugar. Every 4 grams of sugar is 1 teaspoon. So that means now, this is the visual I want you to have. You have a bowl of sugar, you have a teaspoon. You decide to take 3 of those and put it into a drink. Would you ever do that? I certainly wouldn't. And yet each package has 3 teaspoons of sugar. So in other words, goodbye, acai. Take that hyper nourishing of that purple fruit and do it with as simple as a bunch of purple cabbage in a drink that is equally, wow, that's good. Equally as delicious and certainly as healthy. Thank you for listening. I hope you enjoyed this. Dr. Goldner has absolutely nailed the nutritional protocols that can take you from whole food plant-based. Well, I've been whole food plant-based for 6 years and doing beautifully at nearly 7. Wondering if you're in the wrong video. That last segment cut off and I'm having to refilm, and I don't know if you noticed, but my camera isn't dealing with light well. I've moved all over the kitchen to find where I wouldn't get this refraction. I'll work on that later, but I'm going to finish that sentence. as I was saying, Dr. Goldner's protocol took me from a place of very high inflammation to normal, a place of very high antibodies for thyroid and rheumatoid factor, cutting them back by about a third, and now we're going for reversal of them. As I said, I'll be with her in her rapid recovery group in January. My goal then is to reverse all autoimmune factors. And we're doing it with something as simple as hypernourishment. And the easiest way to do hypernourishment, even though I could put all this in a salad and chew it all day, I still do a lunch salad. I still do food in the evening. Now that I'm on step down, my food can be steamed or cooked. But I love raw food. It makes me feel great and energized. And this is the easy way. I'll end up finishing this and then these two before dinner. And I never felt better. Have a great day. I know I will. And let me put a plug in for my own book, and that is Aging Powerfully. 6 months before turning 70, I wrote this book to celebrate turning 70 and seeing the rest of my life as the potential of the next 1, 2, or 3 decades of great health that would give me, in essence, a whole new way of looking at older age. A lot of people see 70 as the beginning of the end. Not if you're living with lifestyle as medicine, and that's what I talk about. Thank you for watching. Give me a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.